Symptoms and signs of HIV in men. Throughout history, HIV or AIDS has been known to affect men more than women. This virus, ever since the 1920s, whence it emerged, has tore across the world, destroying already at-risk communities, causing health crises and emergencies being declared. Even as recent as 2019, HIV was responsible for the deaths of 6,90,000 people whose cases went untreated. Although this seems like a large number, HIV was actually at its peak in 2004. We have only managed to bring it down to that number recently. Stay tuned to the video to find out more. HIV is a virus that can be potentially contained if individuals all around the world remember certain guidelines such as using protection, getting tested, and identifying early symptoms. These helpful provisions are either not known about due to poor literacy or education in many parts of the world. Although these important provisions mean the same for us too. Some mistakes made include individuals simply don't find going for tests yearly as important, while some simply dismiss early symptoms. Neither of those decisions are intelligent in the least, as we must be extremely careful while dealing with viruses such as HIV or AIDS. Now we will talk about the early signs, late-stage symptoms and preventive measures men can take when it comes to combating this infectious virus. HIV doesn't have to look the same in every person. Everyone will not necessarily have the same set of symptoms for the same amount of time. Symptoms of HIV unique to men. Number 1. Low sex drive. Even though the symptom can be equated as a symptom to many other diseases, this condition is a hypogonadism which can be tied to HIV. The condition can also cause similar issues like erectile dysfunction, infertility, and fatigue. Number 2. Sores on the penis. A common sign of HIV is painful open sores or ulcers on the penis or mouth. These sores also often keep coming back. Number 3. Pain or burning while peeing. Usually, this is a symptom of a sexually transmitted infection like gonorrhea or chlamydia. It mostly signals the swelling of the prostate. Some other symptoms may include peeing more often than usual, pain in the groin or abdomen, or pain experienced during ejaculation. While talking about immediate care or treatment for HIV, some advice includes, of course, seeing a doctor right away, taking something known as post-exposure prophylaxis, that is PEP. If you take HIV medicine for once or twice a day for 28 days, that might be able to keep you from getting HIV. This shows that getting tested for HIV is quite paramount. And aside from doing it at least 72 hours after knowing a person has given you HIV, getting tested frequently is generally a good idea. If infected, you can take HIV drugs called antiretroviral therapy, that is ART. Taking reactionary steps such as these can help lower the amount of HIV in your body. It can help keep your immune system healthy and protect against chances of the virus worsening. It also keeps you from spreading HIV further. This is extremely important as many men do not know they have the virus for quite some time and unknowingly spread it to more people. Early symptoms of HIV in men. Now, coming to some early symptoms, we must remember that these are quite commonly associated with other, less threatening viruses and are subsequently ignored. This is a grave mistake any man can make. Symptoms like fever, fatigue, headaches, and ulcers in the mouth, diarrhea, or sore throat can all be signs of a potential HIV contraction. Some alternate effects are: if the man is not tested and diagnosed immediately, he will contract HIV and sometimes will not start receiving major, late-stage symptoms as long as 10 years later, all while spreading HIV further and having his immune system slowly be compromised. Although most people do not actually get these early symptoms and remain unaware until they get tested. This makes it even harder to detect HIV without testing. Talking about later stage symptoms, we understand this is the time HIV has mostly won over your immune system. It begins to spread at a slower rate, also called clinical latency. In this stage, most people do not have any more symptoms. Without treatment, this stage lasts for 10 to 15 years, and while on ART regularly, you will be able to stay in this stage for decades. The final stage of HIV is AIDS. This is the stage wherein the virus has severely damaged your immune system, which now cannot fight against most infections and is left defenseless. Symptoms of AIDS are extreme fatigue, weight loss, pneumonia, memory loss, blotches on the skin, and in some cases, comas. At this stage, the only right step you can take is being prescribed ART by your doctor to keep your immune system as healthy as possible, and other medicines to fight against infections. Having briefed you about the signs as well as symptoms of HIV or AIDS in men, we will now talk about steps you can take to prevent it. Research has shown that a considerable amount of men who suffer from HIV had no idea that they did until they were tested. This shows that there is a chronic lack of information and awareness in many parts of the world when it comes to testing frequently and probing initial symptoms. In some places, even basic knowledge relating to safe sex and protection is almost non-existent. Some preventive measures a man can take are using condoms for vaginal and anal sex, which are highly effective against the spread of the virus. Avoid sharing needles or reusing them. Many cities have needle exchange programs that provide sterile ones. Getting tested for HIV is the only way to know whether the virus has been contracted. Those who are able to get their condition diagnosed can avail the benefits of treatment they need, as well as take steps to avoid further spread of the virus. We hope you have taken away some important information from this video that will help you or someone you know lead better lives.
That's all from us today. We want you to know that your voice is important to us. So please leave a comment below. If you are new here, then click the bell icon for notifications of our new videos and subscribe to our channel.